Breaking news. Local YouTuber WheezyNews mauled in an unprecedented combo crane turkey goose attack. We've never seen anything like this before in nature. Traditionally, cranes, geese, and turkeys are natural competitors. To see them cooperate like this, while really bad for WheezyNews, is great. It's inspiring to see such teamwork. That's a headline we'll see one of these days. And a story. I mean, the whole thing wasn't a headline. That'd be a bit long for a headline. But how are we doing this morning? I'm up early, even though I stayed up a little later to play a little Tears of the Kingdom. And I woke up early. Didn't get that much sleep. I don't know why. Probably because I got like pretty good sleep yesterday. That's what happens. It goes in cycles. But that game, guys, it's really good. I only played a little bit of it, but I've been playing Breath of the Wild lately, so it's like smoother, graphics are a little better and a little more, it just looks beautiful, and smoother. Controls feel a little tighter, smoother. Dialogue, this seems like a minor thing, but the dialogue boxes, like, they move quicker. It's annoying to have to like wait for dialogue boxes sometimes. It opens up with I'm not going to spoil anything really, but it opens up with several cutscenes. So it's like it jumps into the story right away, which didn't happen last time. It was cool last time to not, but this time it's pretty cool to jump in, and I found myself engaged in it a little bit more than normally I am for Zelda stories. Don't really play it for the story, and most games I don't really enjoy the story that much. Some games are pretty great for story, like The Last of Us, for instance, but this one I'm like, oh, I might actually care a little. That's cool. And then just kind of ran around and did stuff a little bit, and it was awesome. But now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna ask Ada this morning if she wants me to start it over and watch the beginning. Maybe warn her that it's a little scary, because it is for a 5-year-old. But then we're gonna play a little bit, and then I'm gonna do some work. And that's all I'm gonna say about Zelda this time, maybe. The last time I talked about scheduling, yesterday, and like looking in Notion, and I just went down a big like planner, task manager rabbit hole, which I've done this many times, where like I need to nail down a schedule for the day. I need a to-do list. I've tried time blocking. I've tried many different software, and I always end up like not really doing the initial plan. Like, I'll spend a lot of time planning, and then once reality sets in, I really don't do most of the functionality of the software. Don't really I don't necessarily need it, and but I also just don't stick to it. Like lately, the way I've been planning my days is I mentioned yesterday, like basically Google Calendar and Things, the app Things 3, which is pretty nice because it doesn't have a lot of functionality. It's pretty loose. It's basically just lists of tasks. You can make them recurring, to move them around. You don't really put them in a time slot. It's just sort of, this is what I gotta do today. This is what I gotta do today. And because it's so loose, I've continued using it. It's been useful. But I'm starting to get that bug again where I want to want to nail down more times to get things done, because I do have a lot of different things to do that I'm not doing. So like when I'm not doing a thing I want to get done, I'm like, well, I gotta schedule it. Maybe I'm not. The problem is the schedule, and maybe the problem isn't the schedule, but I'm gonna try. I think it partly is. I think I have to remind myself of some of my advice I've talked about in newsletters, and recently the documentary I've edited, I've had great success doing a little bit at a time, where I just set a small goal every day, got a little bit done, and then I ended up getting an hour and 20-minute documentary put together, although now I have to go back and fix it. And that's what I need to work on now, which I find myself not doing, because I don't have that easy metric I had when I was building the documentary, when it was like, the metric was add 2 minutes to the timeline, at least 2 minutes every day, just 2 minutes to the timeline. But now it's not about adding minutes, it's about going back and fixing and changing. So now I think I need to actually do time, like an hour a day or 2 hours a day. So then I got to find that time and make sure I do it. And I feel like the best way to make sure I do it is write down the time. Do it at this time. But the problem is, some days I have other stuff I have to do that gets in the way. Things go longer. Parenting duties become more difficult sometimes. Things pull me in other directions. So like a time slot for me is a harder thing. I realize this is a unique, not everyone has this problem. A lot of people, you go to your job and you're like forced to be at a place at a time. And so I have that luxury of doing things when I'm the one making my time schedule. It's a blessing and a curse. I would definitely say it's more of a blessing, and I feel I'm privileged and I'm lucky, and I'm grateful for it. But it's not to say it's easy and there aren't problems that come with it. And so I went down this rabbit hole of Notion, the software Notion, which is very, very much, you can do everything, pretty much. You can do it, but you build it yourself. So it's like, it's not so built in, simple. Although it isn't that hard either, really, now that the more I've looked into it. But you can go deep. You can, there's a lot of tutorials out there. There are a lot of people with you can go very detailed in your work. And I tried, someone mentioned Tick. I looked at that, and that's cool. I liked it, but it's also, there were things about it I didn't love. I didn't love how it integrated with the calendar. It's also not that different than Things, except that you can assign things times. And I've tried other software like it, and I failed at it. And not a problem with the software, more a problem with me. But I don't know. I wonder, looking at that, going down the Notion rabbit hole, I wonder if we're living in a time now where it seems like every aspect of our lives can be measured and can be logged and can be analyzed. And I think that has led to good things. It has led to improvements in our lives, and will continue to. But at some point, it's too much. At some point, you got to draw the line. At some point, you're wasting time measuring and planning when you should be doing. And I've done this many times where I'll plan the perfect day. I'll spend a day or two figuring out, how am I going to plan stuff? What software do I use? What's the game plan? And it's kind of fun to do it, to figure it out, because in the back of my mind it's like, yes, this is gonna make my life great. Finally, I've found the solution. And it never pans out that way, for me anyway. and you end up kind of wasting a day or two, even though it was kind of fun to do it. And I always struggle finding that balance, like measuring and planning and doing. I usually thrive on just doing with no planning. I almost never look at analytics on YouTube. I don't look at like watch time, audience retention. I don't really compare. Well, I do compare. I look at views, and I look at comments, and I definitely think about it, but I don't go deep into the analytics. Maybe I should, but I don't know. It's like it's not what motivates me. Like how do I do this thumbnail or word this title perfectly or tag this or adjust the content so that it's people don't leave. To me, that's not even like, especially like audience retention, and if it leads to me changing the content so that it's like analytically optimized, what am I even doing? Am I even being a person? Not that there's any. I know that it's useful, and I've done things like it before. Like I do put little like teasers at the beginning of videos, like indicating what's going to happen later. But I see that as kind of just good storytelling, not necessarily good analytics or good for the algorithm. Even though ideally, if the algorithm's working well, that's what it is. They're one and the same, good storytelling and good for the algorithm. But that's not how it really pans out. And so I avoid it because I don't want it to change me. I don't want to just be an algorithm robot. I don't think anyone wants that, but it does work, and it's good. And if you found a way to do it and make a good living, good for you. But it's just not what it wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't make me feel good because I wouldn't be excited about what I'm making. I guess I'm also kind of picky and selfish about the things I make. I get an idea and I think it's going to work a certain way, and I don't want an algorithm to tell me that it won't. So that's why I have ups and downs. I have some videos that don't do as well. I mean, everyone does, but there's a loud airplane coming. That's why I do these videos, these unedited talks. These are definitely not algorithm friendly. They are long. It does add to watch time because they're long. And I think they have a certain specific value. I think that is that some of you like. But if I were only doing this just to get to maximize views and to like maximize my business, I probably wouldn't be doing these videos. I probably wouldn't be doing a lot of the videos I've done. I'm always trying to find a balance of all of it. I'm trying to find a balance of what I will enjoy making, what is good for my life, what I actually am interested in content-wise, and if it'll be healthy to me, and if it'll be useful for you, and if it will get clicks, if people will care about it enough to watch it a lot. It's never like just this will get a lot of views, so I should do it. I can think of videos that could get a lot of views that I'm definitely not gonna do, and I'd be perfectly capable of doing. Because like I also want it to be useful. I don't want it to just be a number game. Anyway, I'm always trying to find that balance, and the same thing with scheduling. Like I don't want my days to just be filling time slots. And that's part of the reason I do this. This is still recording, right? Okay, good. Part of the reason I got into this, one of the main reasons I got into this, early on was like I wanted to get out of the rat race. I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to work at home. I thought it would be really fun to make whatever I want that is fun for people to watch. And it was like cheating. It was like I found a way to not really have a job. And it was a lazy motivation. It wasn't a noble motivation necessarily. I wasn't thinking about what's useful for the world. I was thinking it would be really fun to mess around with video, which I already love doing every day. And for a while there, that's how it felt, and it was amazing. The world changed, and it has become a legitimate job, and so now I don't want it to just feel like a legitimate job where I'm filling time slots in the day. I still want it to feel like I'm choosing what to do at any given moment. And maybe that's a stubborn way to think. Maybe that's unrealistic and selfish. But that's how I feel. I've had days where I'm filling time slots and it's very useful, and I love the feeling of having been productive and gotten things done that I needed to or wanted to get done. So I do try it sometimes, the time slots, but ultimately I always end up going away from it. But maybe not this time. Maybe this time I will find the perfect schedule that will work out forever, which is it's just unrealistic. Even saying it out loud just sounds ridiculous. It's starting to rain now, though. I think I am gonna use Notion for the weekly. I found a weekly planner template, and I'm gonna go in. I really like the visual of seeing the week, and then having the to-do lists in a row. Like, I have a specific idea of what I want it to look like. I don't like the vertical. I want it in a row. I can see it all at once in a week. And then I would love to click over and find and have like the bigger picture, the months of videos. And then it will just take effort. There's never going to be one software that's going to be like, plug it in, your schedule's perfect now. I'm going to have to go in and analyze, okay, this video go here, this video go here, this video go here. I'll need this many weeks beforehand to prepare for this video, because each video is different. And then look at that when I look at my week, and then write out the week in a horizontal way, so that I can see my week, so that I can adjust it as it goes. And I think it's just going to take effort. Like, maybe every Sunday I sit down and do it. The reason I want to do that, the main thing driving this, is I want to make more videos. I want to make more. I'd love it if I was like every Friday a main channel Wheezy video went out. But to be able to do that, and at the same time, all the challenges for all the videos coming up, like juggling that, at the same time as making different videos, making the videos ahead of time. So like I'll make one for a week, but it won't come out for another week. And then managing that, and then managing sponsors, because sponsors will have certain days they'll want to approve ahead of time. So it's a lot of time overlapping and if I want to make a video every Friday, which will require a lot of planning. I'm just now dipping my toe in that, and I think Notion will probably be the way to go because of the flexibility of it, and it just take effort. That's the thing. I'll just have to sit down and have like a scheduling time that will be more time than I'm used to and comfortable with, and I'll just have to get used to that if I want to make more videos. I want to make more videos because after 4 months off, I don't really like the feeling of not having the videos. And it's not like I'm addicted to productivity, and it's not, and I don't want to preach to you like grind. I just love, I love the idea of having a regular schedule, feeling like I'm connected to the world by being out there on a regular basis. I should probably run home now because it's raining. Okay, that's my thoughts on that. Scheduling with Craig. I didn't see much wildlife today. I did hear it. I also saw a bunch of geese. I always try to go into this forest on one path. That would be perfect. But then lately there's been a ton of geese every time. Then I turn around and I come in another way. And that's about it, everybody. And I'll see you later. I'm trying to think of a phrase from Zelda, but there isn't really a recurring like quote I could say. Like Mario's got "Your princess is in another castle," or "It's a me, a Mario." But Zelda, what does it got? "It's a me, a Zelda." There it is. Got it. Okay, thank you everybody thank you for your comments, for your likes, for your support. You guys are great. Bye.